What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brax, and today with me I have a guest. Her name is Karina.
Hello.
And we're gonna talk to you guys about her story of how she got to how much?
I am in multiple six figures a year right now.
Multiple six figures. Do you share numbers?
Just general yearly numbers.
All right, so we're gonna talk to you guys about how she did that. Now she quit her job and now does Amazon full time.
Yep.
Is that your main thing or your only thing?
Not my only thing, but it's my main thing.
Okay, so I haven't talked to many people that quit their job because of Amazon in such a short period of time, because it's what, 1 year?
Yes, I've been selling for a year and 2 months.
Well, let's do that. Let's start the whole story.
Okay, let's start the whole story.
Who are you? What's your name? What do you do in life?
Hello, my name is Karina. My hashtag on Instagram is #IntoAMilli because I think that's just a great journey. But
Are you there?
no, that's the plan. I'm trying to scale to 7 figures right now. I think that's a great goal because I really love the actual process of Amazon and just digging deep and finding all the logistics of it. That's always super fun. But I started out with no background in entrepreneurship, no background in e-commerce. I was medicine. So I went to UCI, got my...
UCI.
Do you know UCI? You went to UCI?
I went to UCI for a summer.
Oh, cool.
For a summer abroad. Yeah, 2014.
Okay, that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
So you know the anteaters.
Anteaters.
I don't even know how to... Okay, I did the wrong logo, so I don't even know why I'm in school. But yeah, so I wanted to go into medicine because I wanted to help people and just do something like worthy and like a good cause. And I also thought that they had comfortable lives because I thought the income was good and they were able to help their families. And my plan was to do Doctors Without Borders and just travel as well because that was always something I wanted to do. And I worked with them for years, all through high school, all through college. And then I noticed that their lifestyle is just crazy. They don't sleep as much as I like to sleep. They're in debt. And I respect the profession so much. And I was almost there. I was literally took my MCATs, graduated, was working at a Trauma One surgery center, about to apply to medical school. And something just felt off. It's not the lifestyle I wanted, not the goals that I wanted. And I thought that there has to be another way to get everything I wanted, because the more I thought about it, the more I realized like I can't really have a family that I can spend a lot of time with doing this. I'm always going to be inside a building. It's just, I don't know. It seemed limiting. And I was always researching things online, like reading books, just YouTube videos, and the black hole of YouTube. You know how that goes. Click, suggested, brought me onto Amazon FBA. And it took me a few videos to really get inspired, because some people, you just relate to people differently, and I think that's why it's important to have a lot of people talking about like a similar subject, because people relate to different people. And it's just like a light bulb just went off, and I saw it as such a crazy opportunity, and I thought, why have I not done this before? And literally like that night, it was like random night, just binge watched till middle of the night, early morning videos, and then ever since then I just started, and boom.
Were you looking for passive income videos, or what were you looking for?
I think what happened is I was somewhere on Facebook, and some like retail arbitrage video came on. I've never even heard that term before, and I just wanted to find out what it was. I'm like, this sounds interesting. People make money doing this. What is this? And then that's how it led me to Amazon FBA private label.
Did you try arbitrage?
No, I didn't try anything. It's just like straight FBA. And to me, when I first started, it sounded silly. I'm like, private label, like I don't want to like private label shampoos. That's what I thought of, because so many people do that. You know, like, oh, I have my home small business at home doing shampoos. That's what I thought it was, and it's not that at all.
Yeah. So did you take a course? How did you learn?
I actually, to this point, I've taken so many courses. I love finding new info, but I like take pretty much almost every course that's out there. I've probably taken it.
That's good.
By now, I just always learning with this stuff, like podcast courses, YouTube videos, constantly.
Okay.
It's fun.
Do you remember how much time it took between hearing about it and then selling?
Selling. So I was the fortunate person to be able to finish my course right during Chinese New Year. So I had an amazing month of just being annoyed. No, I found my product. I found where my product rises at Chinese New Year started, and I was like, no. I was contacting suppliers like one day before it started. So that was fun. And then my first product had like a 30-day lead time, which was super annoying, but
manufacturing?
But I can get in. That's just like later down the story. I don't know how in depth you want to go.
Yeah, sure. So what was the next step? You learned, and then you had a job?
Yeah,
back then?
so I was working, and even when I started like actually seeing returns in Amazon, I was still working because it just feels weird. But I just knew I was at a point where I needed change, and I just did not want to. It's like that feeling where you dread going to work, and you're like, "Why am I doing this?" But every second I had at work, because I had some downtime.
We're refreshing your app.
No, like first before, because I was still learning
Okay.
and sourcing and whatever as I was working, and every second I had before Amazon, it was always reading books, something. But now I'm like Amazon. Yeah, so I was sourcing it, and then I had to wait. Luckily, the suppliers were replying to me during the Chinese New Year, so we were kind of like, and I had my package designed, everything, so it was all done and ready to go. So as soon as they got back in, they like chop.
And that was
Got
your
it.
first product.
My first product, yeah.
How did it go?
Well, actually, this is interesting. So, because during that wait time, I kept doing product research, and I found a second product, and I thought, everyone I hear just say focus on one product, just do one thing, and something inside me was like, don't do it, just do this as well. So I said it can't hurt. I'm just gonna do two.
You started with 2.
I started with 2,
Whoa.
and my first one that I thought was like the biggest home run. I'm like, this one is gonna be like the determining factor. Market looks great, reviews are low. I have a premium product, great packaging, everything. It actually like completely tanked. And then the second product I now built into like a full-on brand, which is actually
They were
so
different
interesting.
categories?
Same category actually, yeah. But the other one I killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was? Like why did one do so well without expecting it? And then why did the other one not do well when you expected it to do well?
It was the market. It was one of those markets that's just oversaturated, and it's a bit of an easy product, I guess. It doesn't require too much brain power. Like, I didn't know this at the beginning. It's one of those like Me Too products, and I thought that just having premium packaging, and to be honest, like my listing was the best as like aesthetically wise, but it was just such an oversaturated market selling the exact same thing when the demand was pretty much like oversaturated
Yeah.
too.
My
There's
first
no-
product was the same thing. But it did well for some reason.
That's good.
Yeah.
So-
It was the same thing. It was just a product with a box, like a
nice
custom
box.
designed box, and then no differentiation.
Mm.
But I was able to sort of show something different in the main image that most people have, but for some reason they weren't showing. So I think that's why it did well. I sold it for a year, and then I was like, I'm gonna go the branding route.
Yes, branding is great. I love Amazon because there's so many opportunities. You think someone tells you this is the right way or that's the wrong way,
Yeah.
but that's not even true.
Yeah. So then what happened?
I mean, what happened? I kept loving it more and more every day.
Launching
and
more.
Yeah, I built that into a brand, and I never really planned to make it a brand. I know people have that, like, they really stress branding, and I totally agree that's the long term way to go. But when you're first starting out, this is my personal opinion, is it's good to just have a little bit taste of that success. So
Yeah.
even if your first product is just something that gets your foot in the door and gives you that extra pump, and you actually start seeing results, that's when it becomes fun.
Yeah.
And then you find another, and you never know what's gonna work. Like, you can do all the research you want and it seems perfect, but then there could always be something. I don't think it's ever 100%. And from there, if it fails, you can just have another product or another. There's just, as long as you don't stop, there's just a lot of opportunity.
Yeah. We'll talk about a few lessons that you've picked up along the way, but how did you find this product? Product research, how did you do that?
I've tried so many ways. I don't think there's one right way to do it, and I really don't think you need to use any crazy hacks. I know people like to do like product hacks or like this and that. I just think there's so much opportunity within FBA that you don't need to do sneaky ways to try to find something. But I just used either Jungle Scout or Viral Launch product tool, and I believe I went and did the looking at stores and kind of like
Yeah.
going down the rabbit hole method.
Yeah.
That was the way to go. But I've definitely found some of my products on just the web app too. It's just being honest, I find like really good products a lot. I just think there's a lot of them out there. That's the thing.
That's good for them to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you launch?
I launched just with PPC. No giveaways, anything.
That first time or always?
Always. Like, that's the way I like to do it, because I love the real data aspect of it. If people aren't buying your product when it's showing up on sponsored ads,
Then you know.
something's off, and
Yeah.
that's a good sign. If no one's buying it, then you know. Like, imagine investing all that money into giveaways and all those fees, and then finding out you get to the first page but no one's buying you because actually your listing is bad, and that's just,
Yeah.
you can't take that back.
Yeah. Did you get to first page with just PPC?
Yeah,
How
it's slower than, I don't know, I guess some giveaways take like a week, But I got to the first, and it's cool because I saw myself moving up. So I started from being undetectable completely. Like I could not find myself anywhere. I looked through every single page or like pretty far down. Then I was on page 17. Then from 17, I went to page 4, then to 3, then to 2, and then 1. And now I am like, this is for that product. I'm like Amazon's Choice Badge on like all my main keywords, first page. Like it's great.
Nice.
Just PPC.
That's amazing.
I love PPC. PPC is like my favorite thing in the world. Yeah,
so you have how many products now?
I have, I believe 7, if I'm doing the calculations right in my head. I killed 2 of them, but 7 active ones right now. Yeah.
And what's been the process like to expand?
Pretty much studying the market and seeing what, like, I like looking at the frequently bought together section to see, I mean, obviously that's good rate for bundles as well, but I also like it for product expansion and just seeing what customers like, looking at my competitor stores, seeing what they're selling, looking for similar keywords in softwares and using those. If they have enough search volume, that's a great idea too.
Do you have any variations?
I don't know, not variations, they're all separate listings, but my favorite thing is like the fact that I think the number one thing why branding is important, besides branding, common sense, hello, it's branding, but you take up real estate in Amazon, and if it's the same or similar keywords, that's like crazy power because you're taking away sales from people and you're just cluttering their mind with your brand. Yeah,
and if your brand is consistent, then people see you multiple times and they go like, okay, this is a real company.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Right? And it's interesting too because I study like my analytics and all the PPC stuff and, you know, it's like sponsored ASINs. Like sometimes I show up for my own ASIN and then people actually buy my second ASIN as an ad.
Do you not target them?
Well, now I did because I saw that I was getting conversions, but before like the auto campaign would target my other product and then people would buy and I'm like, oh wait, let me just, might as well have mine show up as opposed to someone else's. So
have you ever seen your own products frequently bought together?
No, actually I haven't.
Okay. So now
actually wait, not frequently bought together, but it was like customers who were buying this also buying that. It was like in a drop down with other products, but just specifically like 2, because sometimes it's like 2 or 3. No, I have not.
Okay. When did you quit your job?
Maybe, I don't know, like I think I did it 2 months into Amazon.
2 months into Amazon?
2 or 3 months, yeah.
Nice.
So I was, but I want to also mention, like I was also signed to an agency, like a modeling agency. So I worked them as well. I didn't want to quit that because I enjoyed it. But then I deferred that contract as well recently. I didn't renew it because I wanted to, this is totally the what I want to do with my life. So I quit that too.
So now where are you at?
What do you mean?
With your journey?
My journey, this is just so much fun. I love doing, you know, I think the coolest thing about the whole Amazon thing is that it's not the only thing. So from that, I expand into other things like ManyChat. That's super fun. You learn that. I had no idea about Facebook ads. I learned that and I started doing it for my own business. And then actually companies started reaching out to me and I've done work with other companies where I help them with like conferences and bring people to their conferences and I got good at that. So like that is
not Amazon not
completely
Amazon
not Amazon related. Yeah, it's just like I got good at Facebook ads and like ClickFunnels and landing pages and then like that's a cool thing to do as well. You to help other companies and completely not related to Amazon. And also I've helped other companies actually get products on Amazon. So they say they are in retail or they're online. And then they hear my story and they're like, wait, is Amazon a great opportunity? I'm like, well, let me check your market. And then you check it and sometimes it turns out to actually be a good market. I'm like, let me help you. We can actually get you extra sales. And if you're not even taking advantage of being on the first page and like dominating how like our goal is, it's at least you're on there and you're ranking for like a good amount. You're getting side income plus you're getting that extra traffic that you wouldn't have got and you're raising someone's brand awareness. So it's like there's so many avenues you can take Amazon. It doesn't just have to be your private label.
Let's talk about some lessons or some mistakes that you've either made or have seen people make. Because she has a YouTube channel and I'll link it below. Guys, check it out after this video.
This is kind of like a thing. People, you know those videos like how much money do you need to start FBA? And it can be a very low amount, that's for sure. Like you don't have to have like 5K. But yeah, cash flow because Amazon doesn't pay you out fast enough sometimes. But it'd be great to have like some extra money stored for that. Or one of the booths here, they offered to pay you out, payability.
Yeah. And it was like 2.5%,
something like that. But when you're first starting out, and if that really is an issue and you're gonna run out of stock, I do suggest finding an alternative way. it's scary to get loans or debt if you don't know if it's working. But if you're already ranked and you're making sales and you just need more inventory, like I personally would probably get a loan or something if you can't keep up with that. That's what I would do.
People say that if you're in a start, have at least twice or 3 times the amount of what you need for the first order. Have that in the bank.
I heard that too.
Or have some sort of way ready, like a credit card or some sort of,
I mean, it's gonna go back. Honestly, it's just, I don't have that, I don't like having the fear of like black or like, oh no, even like, because I lost a lot of money on my first product, but it's like I gained it all back with the second revenue. And if I didn't, like, you just can't stop.
Yeah.
You have to learn from your mistakes and keep going, and don't think like, okay, let's say you lose $10,000. Do you really think you're not going to make that back in your whole entire life that you live? Like if you're 20, even 60, like you can, if you really try, you can sign up for Uber and make $10,000 or sell your couch, and it's not a big deal. The bigger issue for me is like you could have lost an opportunity that could have gave you complete freedom. Like that's more scary to me than even losing like 30,000, which you can't lose that much. Like you don't need that much money to do Amazon.
How much did you start with?
Well, I don't know, because my first product, I think I invested maybe around $3,000 into it, and my second product maybe like a little less than that, under 2,000. So yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, at all.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So now you told me you're scaling.
Yes.
And you're starting to outsource. Can we talk about that?
Yes, that's my favorite thing. I should have done it sooner. I don't know. It's so comforting. You have to find the right people, right? But outsourcing, essentially having someone take an aspect of your business over or do something, a skill that you might not necessarily want to learn or need to learn, because you don't need to do everything. And I used to micromanage everything that I did, and I thought I could do this by myself. I'm running a multiple 6-figure business by myself. And then you realize like you're literally stealing time away from yourself, and you can be scaling and doing something bigger, and you don't need to focus on doing tasks or learning. For example, it's like you're not good at graphics, you're not going to go and learn Photoshop, or you're not good at making YouTube thumbnails. Like you can, and I would do this for my YouTube thumbnails. I would spend like 2 hours and it would look horrible. Like, why am I doing this?
You have someone else do them now?
Yeah, so I don't want to edit my own not that I don't want to. I used to do it for the longest time, but I can't. And it's better content for everyone else because they see cool things and it's more entertaining, as opposed to me like doing the best I can and have it still look bad. And plus it takes like a huge chunk of my day when I could be doing something else. That's more on the creative side. But as far as Amazon, like there's a lot of things you can outsource, but of course that there's like a very dangerous zone too, because you don't want to outsource things that
product research
or things that you don't know how to do yourself well yet, and then you teach someone incorrectly, or you get someone doesn't know how to do it properly, or just kind of degaffs it, and then they could screw up your business. Have
you outsourced anything yet?
I'm looking, so I'm outsourcing all the creative aspects. Like when I say this, guys, keep in mind I'm still very close and personal with it all. So I have a great graphics designer like to do the because I'm all about having the best like visuals. So I needed someone really good. I tried people in the US, like Philip. I've gone through so many graphic designers, but I'm like, you guys need to be good because that is the face. And like package design. So I have like a dedicated person to those aspects of Amazon, because like I know people go to Fiverr and that's a great resource, but then when you are launching things all the time and you need something like chop, you want someone that's at like your text message and you're like, hey, do this package design. But I send them a very detailed outline of what I want, and it's very like, I'm very specific with my package design, with my listings. I'm like, move this like even like a millimeter to the left, because I know they don't know the marketing aspect of it and how well it's gonna look. They don't know the market, they don't know the competition, they're just creative. And you need to find people that are creative in that sense. But yeah, there's a lot of things you can outsource, but you just like master the concept first yourself.
Is that someone, the creative part, is that someone that is an employee of yours, or is it
full-time? They're 40 hours a week.
From Philippines? Nice. So that's the first thing that you outsource.
Yes.
What's next?
Next is more Amazon logistics. So it's harder to outsource like PPC and stuff unless you have someone that's really good. But I'm trying to get a good kind of manager that can oversee more of my Amazon account and just kind of monitor that aspect. So I have 3 really good candidates that actually had a lot of experience with Amazon. So yeah, I'm very strict about who I hire too.
How did you find them? You should be.
Yeah. onlinejobs.ph is a great source. There's a lot of
For that job?
yeah, there's a really high quality people in the Philippines, and you would be surprised because you think it's just a closed-minded thing. You think like you have to be in U.S. or Canada, like here physically present to know the model, and to understand it. But no, like the people that applied, like if you were here, you'd be paid like 5 times more for what you're paid there.
Yeah, it's very cheap, and their culture is very Americanized. So you can find some very good people in the Philippines, and for very cheap.
And I suggest like you can train them to do whatever you want, but it's very helpful if they've had experience. They're typically a little bit more expensive, but if you can afford it, it's worth it because that takes a lot of headache off of you. And I had people also, like the candidates I'm looking at, they have experience. They actually can contribute. They're like, I have marketing strategies from other sellers I work with, and they want to share that with you.
Yeah, you want to get their input. You want to expand what you don't learn from them, what you don't know.
I really don't pay that much attention to stats. Views, subs, followers, even my revenue. I deleted my seller app because I feel like when I first started, it would just be like, I'd be obsessed. I'm like, oh, I gotta sell, refresh. And I'm like, why? This is a waste of time. I'm distracting myself. Like, my belief is like, if you, like, you know what you're doing. You keep learning every day. You don't give up. You have a positive mentality about it. Like, my mentality is all about abundance. I'm like, I find products, they're everywhere. I think it doesn't have to be hard. You can make it easy if you want to make it easy. It's just all about the way of thinking. And if you're refreshing your app, to me, that means like you're scared that you didn't get enough sales or you want more sales. And if you think that you want more sales, I don't think you're going to get more sales. If you just calm down, relax, and you're like, I don't even have to look at this or worry about it. They're coming. Usually that's when I have my higher sales day. So I'm like, this is cool. Yeah. So I just kind of relax more, and like you don't have to stress as much as people think you have to stress.
Yeah. I don't know if we mentioned it here, but we're in Vegas right now.
Oh yeah.
We're at SellerCon.
Show me your badge.
That's me, Summer, Brax.
But this is why I'm super dressed up. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no reason that I'm underdressed. But yeah. So what's your biggest takeaway? Maybe this can be the last
from
question.
SellerCon?
This weekend. 3 days, a lot of speakers, a lot of networking, a lot of this, and it's a lot of fun.
My biggest takeaway is I love my favorite part is like meeting the people, and my takeaway is I don't know, lesson or whatever, but my most amazing thing that happened to me this whole trip is just the genuine people that I met. I think that's just key, and it's so much fun because you're on your little computer all alone all the time. No one or people are like far. No one around you, and then you get into a community and everyone knows what you're talking about. Yeah. And they're on the same page as you and doing the same process. I think it's really cool, and just being in that environment is a lot of fun, and just bouncing ideas around, and
we went to a club last night, and it was full of Amazon sellers.
It was crazy.
Like music blasting, lights.
It's just Amazon sellers.
If you follow me on Instagram, you saw. If you don't follow me on Instagram,
me too. I posted it.
I'll put her Instagram right here. But I was walking around and all I could hear was PPC.
That's so fun. You don't talk about that. Your friends don't know what PPC is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should.
Mm-hmm. Like when I quit my job, it was actually really funny because I put in a 2-week notice, and then it actually turned out to be longer because I had to train someone, and I felt bad. I'm like, I don't want to leave without training because I just left. And they're like, what do you mean you're quitting? Where are you going? I'm like, I scaled my business to 6 figures, so I'm leaving. And they're like, what do you mean your business?
What business?
You have they're like, what business? I thought you were going into medicine. I'm like, I changed my mind. Yeah. So that was funny.
What's some advice that you want to give to someone who's just starting or who has just started?
To relax. Like honestly, people just overstress about this, and I get it. It seems scary, and it seems when I first pulled up like Viral Lunch, Jungle Scout, whatever extension, Helium 10, whatever you use, it seems so scary. You get just bombarded with all these numbers and you don't know where to start. But trust me, like over time, it becomes easier, and it doesn't have to take a long time. You don't have to stress about it. You don't have to have fear about it. It's like when you go to school and you take a math class, they don't just throw calculus at you. You work up to it, but then you look back, now it's like super easy. But before, doing like 3 + 2 or 6 divided by 2 used to be hard. So I just think it doesn't have to be as like stressful as some people might make it sound. And I think that eventually you'll get the hang of it, and just know that it is something that works. And there's a lot of like, we're at an Amazon conference with like so many sellers. You should, if they saw your Instagram thing, they see how many sellers there are. So it's working for them. It's gonna work for you. It's just your mentality around
3,000 people here, right? At the conference.
Yeah, it looks like more. I don't know. It looks like a lot of people.
Maybe. I don't know where I got that number from. But yeah. So if people want more from you, if they want to ask you a question, where should they go?
My YouTube channel, I post a lot of videos on there. And then Instagram, I'm very interactive. It's called, I think it's just link it down below. It's just my name.
I'll put it right here.
I don't know if you Google it, if it'll show up. But yeah, just link it. And then I'm really active on my Instagram. I answer a lot of DMs and questions. I get them all the time. And I'm just really active on there. So the best way to reach me, if you have like an FBA question, is my Instagram.
FBA only.
Only FBA. No, actually any questions. Yeah, is FBA.
Yeah. Well, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me.
Go check out her channel, her Instagram. I'll link everything below. And if you have any questions, post them below. We'll answer them.
Yes.
And if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more.
Subscribe.
And click right here if you want to see a video I did at this conference about 3 reasons people fail on Amazon. So click right here to watch it, and I'll see you guys there. Peace.
And people are obsessed with this metric, you know, but they're forgetting that it's not the Amazon algorithm that's going to buy their product. It's the buyer who's going to buy their product.
Yeah.
And they're forgetting about relevancy to the buyer.